Hey, it's Andre. It's time for a Friday flying update. Sea duct, quad, and a really messy bench. That's right, happy Friday everybody, and yes, the bench is just in this huge state of disarray, but it's all good because my sea duct project is almost done. After 3 solid nights, all I have left are some little bits and like the pontoons and a few other things like the engine cowls and stuff like this, and it's almost finished. I mean, this thing is an immense aircraft, and I've been spinning it around down here in the basement. I tried it outside, but you really do need the pontoons or it tips over onto the props, obviously. So I think tomorrow, once I'm done this update, I'm actually going to finish off the jobs, and they'll probably go out for a test flight tomorrow, and then I'll come home and I'll finish cleaning up all the little edges and everything before I get into the paint and everything on this. So it's almost done. It is a very impressive plane, a very technical build, and it's certainly not hard, but there's a lot to it. And when I say 3 evenings, I mean 3 solid workable evenings. So running it on a 4S setup, my 2830-11,000 kV motors, spinning some 8x4 slow props. I do have some other stuff, but I decided I would run the 4S just to get the punch. Otherwise, I would run a 9-inch prop and run it on a 3S 4000, but I've got a bunch of 22.6 4S packs that I can run into it and have fun, and just separates the packages up. But feels like a good airplane. Like I said, it's more cosmetic work that's left, and I'll get it all cleaned up and protected it, and then figure out what I'm going to paint it. Over the week, I've been doing a lot of stuff, and I'm very happy to have this fantastic new cutting mat, which is thoroughly full of glue and a nice hot glue gun. So that's been handy. I've got like 1 stick left after this one, so I used up quite a lot of stuff getting this plane all waterproof. But earlier in the week, I had some fun with some FPV flying, playing around with Betaflight, and more particularly air mode and flipping the things around. You saw some of the footage at the very beginning from this guy. So this quad's going to have a couple of different changes. I have ordered some different power distribution setups, and this week from Banggood came in some antenna wires, so I can get the antennas away from the transmitter units and shift the weight around. I'm going to change this guy up yet again. I'm learning a lot about these quads and where I want set up in the CG weight, so I'm going to move it around, and with the wire now I'll be able to get some separation between the antenna and the actual quad, so if I do crash, I'm not actually damaging my transmitter, just the antenna or the antenna stack. So that's really good. Been testing different props and having some fun. For freestyle, as everybody said so far, I find the non-bullnose type props a little bit more rewarding, and it was really neat to do flips and rolls and everything. My yard is too tight for me to do anything else, and I don't want to risk dumping anything into the pool, as a lot of people were commenting. What else was on the bench? Well, Martin came by and he dropped off a future camera rig. This is something we saw on the on Thingy Universe, and it will allow me to have a handheld camera rig, you know, 2 handles and kind of like that. The camera will go in the center. It'll be really good, and then I'll have my microphone on top. So slowly building on the multimedia packages and the various cameras. So the H8R camera failed miserably as a 4K camera. I've proven that. But in the field, everything, it does pretty good. It's got a pretty nice audio. I used it for last week's update because I didn't even bother putting a microphone on, and it was pretty decent. Timing-wise, I noticed it was off as far as the recorder one night and its audio, so you know, some crystal issues in there, but as a 1080 general point and shoot camera style thing, it does the job. So I think that's about it. This thing has consumed a lot of my week, but it's been a very satisfying build, and I'm really happy about having a gigantic cutting mat on my bench. So now everything has got to get cleaned up, but I want to get building on it, so I'm not going to spend too much more time on the update. Hey, to all my FliteFest volunteers, awesome. We cracked about 160 volunteers, which is phenomenal, and plans are going out. We're fixing everything up and adjusting everything, so really looking forward to next month. The clock is ticking for us. So hey, have a grand, fantastic weekend. I'm going to fly this thing, so hopefully I'll report back with some really fun videos. So have fun. Cheers.